Hey everybody, Jay Barino here and welcome back. We're finishing Super Metroid today. We got 4 items left to get here in Crateria before heading down. I've taken the liberty of filling in the majority of the room my ship is in because it was just a bunch of extra space jumping. We'll be heading to the upper right. We're all full up on everything because we stopped at our ship. So we're going to go ahead and spin jump up. You could also shine spark up here. Fill in those squares. And we could have done this quite a bit earlier, again, because you can shine spark up here, but ultimately, this is going to be just fine. Rooms like this are kind of funny, because like now that we have screw attack, it sort of nullifies the challenge of the room. That is the last power bomb expansion in the game. Let's see if we can get a horizontal shine spark set up outside this door. Okay, and then we fall. Left to right shine sparks, I feel like the hardest, whereas up, down, and even diagonal, not too bad. I mean, in any case, once you learn to do any of them, they're fine. You could also come through here with power bombs or even normal bombs, but you can see why space jump is the way to go. So you can break through the enemies. The grabbers can still grab you when you're screw attacking, though, which is funny to me. Okay, I'm going to drop that, and then grab this energy tank. This is the last energy tank of the game. And I guess I'll wait for the acid, even though, realistically, I think we have enough health that we can take it. Just a little more with the screw attack. You can also pull off a really gnarly right-to-left shine spark if you open the door before going into the room prior to the energy tank, but I did not do that. Okay, so we want to try and land right in the middle, if possible, so that we can get 2 missile tanks at the same time. Let's try. Perfect. So because of the crumbly blocks, generally you're only going to get 1 of these at a time, but because I managed to break all of it at the same time, we're able to grab both so that we don't have to circle around a second time, because that would just be a pain. That would just be a pain. And there we go. That's 100% of all items in the game. We've also completed the map. All right, because I didn't show them here, the completed maps for Crateria. All done. And Brinstar. Pretty sure it's looking like everything's done here. We head over to where Kraid was as well. Yep, looking good. 100% of the map tiles completed in all the zones. So there's nothing left to do except head on down to Torian, New Torian, and confront Mother Brain. So let's go check on our golden boss statue now that we've killed all 4 of them. Alright, we've broken the seal, so the statue goes into the ground. Slowly. And down we go. I don't know how there was enough time for algae to form on the statue. But this brings us down into Torian. So the only enemies down here are Metroids. So you have to be very careful. The only way to kill them is to freeze them first and then hit them with missiles. If they grab you, they're actually quite difficult to shake off, so we're going to try and be extra careful here and make them come to us. And this is one of those where, for the most part, I'm just going to be ignoring the rings. We'll just take damage from the rings, and that's fine. Since I collected every energy tank, it's going to be pretty easy to let's see if we can get this thing off of us. What you have to do is lay a morph ball bomb and then get out of morph ball mode when the bomb goes off in order to force it off of you. It's a little counterintuitive. I guess it's good that I got grabbed by one just to show it. But otherwise, Metroid's historically weak to cold, so that's why you need the Ice Beam here. And the doors do not open till you kill them. One super missile also destroys them. But I have all these missiles, and I'm not really using them for anything else, so why not? I feel like shaking Metroids off in this game is a bit harder than it was in Zero Mission Torian, that's for sure. We could also freeze the rings, and it'll stop new ones from spawning as quickly. I'm not too concerned about it, though. Again, I got plenty of health, and the Metroids drop a bunch of resources along the way. Come on, buddy. Okay, I think these can only be killed by super missiles. And there are 2 of them. I think only super missiles. Charge shots don't work. So some things crumbling into dust here. I don't like the look of it. Uh-oh. Okay, so this thing, you can barely manage to avoid it, but it doesn't make a difference. You're supposed to get grabbed here. And that's the Metroid larva from the beginning. It remembers that where it's kind of mother. So it doesn't quite kill us, but we have 1 energy. I don't love it. Please let me through. And let's get our energy back here, please. Okay, it's like nothing even happened. We're fine. Everything's fine. But now we know that that thing is down here. And there's nothing left to do except make our way towards the end through the rest of Torian. But that's all that... We've killed all the Metroids down here except our adopted Metroid, I guess. It's not really the Metroid larva anymore, is it? Okay, and then this is the last save station before the end of the game. So I guess, you know, if you need to, go ahead and use that. And then this room is exactly the same as it is in the original Metroid / Zero Mission. You have to shoot through these weird little red energy things with missiles. Again, I could freeze the rings. It's really not a problem to just let them hit me, so I'm not going to. I think if you can glitch through the first rings, or if you can glitch through the first laser gates, then the rest of them won't spawn and you can just go right to the end. Okay, so here's Mother Brain. And we just blast the crap out of her with missiles. We just stay crouched here. Again, freezing the rings might be a smart choice, but I think we're okay. And there we go. Did we do it? So now the real boss fight begins. And we saved our super missiles for this. Just unload. I had to use some editing here to disable the widescreen patch for this part of the fight because there is a bug that messes some things up. So we'll reapply it after this fight. And most of Mother Brain's attacks here are dodgeable pretty easily. This fight is pretty fun, and if you come into it with all your energy tanks, you're going to be absolutely fine. Anyway, she's shooting these crazy explosions at us. Don't? Okay, well. All the attacks do quite a lot of damage, but again, we have so much health. Let's just unload. She's doing something. So that is unavoidable, and now we are stunned. And she's charging it again, but you can't avoid it. We're getting some widescreen action. Get up, Samus. She gonna hit you again? Get up! So, you can purposefully take damage in the earlier phases as well to make this go a little bit faster, because unfortunately we're just kind of stuck here as she blasts us with this until we get low enough energy for something to happen. So she's getting us with normal attacks here to get us below 1 E-tank. And we're just flat out stunned. This is it. What a great moment. For a Super Nintendo game, what a great moment. Yes, come to me, my child. Restore me. So, the end of this game is very much cinematic. The Mother Brain fight is not particularly difficult, but it really just has to do with how many expansions you came into it with. But Mother Brain is not dead. Alright, Metroid, you've given me enough. Defend yourself. You don't have to fill me up completely. Save yourself. Alright, time to go. Now we get our Hyper Beam. Sad to see our Metroid buddy go. Could have been used as a force for good. But now, we can just blast the crap out of her because we are overcharged. We don't have any other weapons and we don't need them. She's getting red. She's going down. And there we go. Good and proper dead this time. Okay, widescreen patch re-enabled. As we make our escape. Again, it would never be a Metroid without a timed escape section of some sort. So, map here, we're escaping. This whole area, this planet's blowing up. The map is fine. We don't need to fill in this room. This is the one time I'll make a concession. Okay, let's head up and around in this room. We got one last thing to do besides escape in this godforsaken planet. That guy shot me in midair. Hero of the space pirates. Okay, let's get up to the top, please. The screen shaking is probably what makes this in particular challenging. Okay, and of course, we have to climb flippin' blue tube to get out. You could probably space jump all the way up. I think you can also shine spark up the right. But you know what? Let's just climb it the old-fashioned way because I'm more likely to mess up space jump and it's too late to do the shine spark from the previous room. We can keep things a little interesting, okay? Let the timer tick down a little bit and be like, uh-oh, what if he doesn't make it? What if he didn't plan for this? What if he planned to shine spark and actually, now he's gonna fall again? You never know. See, I like to keep y'all on the edge of your seats. But yeah, the screen shaking is kind of challenging. I would say, even this late into the game, you know, having this much experience with the game that I have, I still struggle with some precision jumps. The game just does not intuitively allow you to platform in many ways. So we're going down here. That's right, we got some buddies to let out, just to make sure they can escape. They taught us valuable skills early, okay? Get out of here, buddies. Go, go, go. All right, they're safe. So now we have about a minute to escape. I think we'll make it. All right, and just like that, we're back to our ship. Plenty of time to spare. Let's get the heck out of here. Hell yeah. So you saw the animals escaped at the end. As the ship's flying away from Zebus, you can see a tiny little extra pixel go off to the right. That was the animals. That wouldn't be there if we didn't rescue them on the way out. It's just a tiny little detail that I'm surprised they put into a game like this, but our clear time was under 2 hours, which is great, and as we let the credits scroll, I guess we could talk a little bit about the game, but we'll also see our item collection rate, which of course is going to be 100%. I don't think I showed the map of completed Brinstar, so I'll have to edit that in at the start of the video. But we saw the completed Norfair, Lower Norfair, Meridia, and Crateria maps. And it's all filled in. You'll love to see it. We made some concessions just to fill in the stupid map, and in retrospect, maybe that's one of those things I did not need to plan to do on my way through. This is one of those games where it really encapsulates the Metroidvania so well. I mean, the game Metroid basically created the genre, but this game, it set the standard for everything that came after. The bar was raised so high from between Metroid and Super Metroid, it's possibly one of the most successful sequels of all time. And I don't want to discount Metroid 2, there was big strides there too, but between Metroid and Metroid 2 and then Super Metroid, the gap is enormous. It's just enormous. But this game, in terms of routing, like the way I routed Metroid Prime, for example, I don't think that could have been done any better for the type of playthrough I wanted to do. Whereas Super Metroid, I still feel like there were a few different ways we could have approached this playthrough, specifically when it came to routing our way back through Brinstar to collect a few things, to make it maybe the most, I guess, quote, efficient possible. Like, for example, I'm like, well, I don't want to use any wall jumping and I don't want to use any shine sparking unless I technically learn it in the game, so that means we need to go kind of early. But by going early, before we had the gravity suit, there were some energy tanks that we couldn't get there, which meant we didn't have energy tanks when we went and fought Ridley, which was a very close fight. And I kind of prefer it that way. I think that turned out pretty good. So overall, I'm happy with this route. At the end, there was also that one little pass-through area to get from Meridia to Upper Red Tower Brinstar, which felt kind of stupid, but just to fill in that area of the map, I went out of my way to get that, and I purposely left those super missiles. So it was kind of goofy, but anywho. Wow, look at that. And then she shoots you in the face. Classic. Okay, let's see our item collection rate. If it said 99% now, I'll lose it. Okay, there's the 100%. I'm like, I know I got everything. Nice. So there's definitely little optimizations we could have done in terms of movement to save time, but under 2 hours, I would say, is a great time considering we went 100%. I'm not a speedrunner, and we did no sequence breaking at all. So beyond that, the best you can do, again, is just like little masteries of movement through the game, which I think at this point in my life, I'm comfortable just not having spent the time to learn those types of things, to be honest. So, yeah, fantastic game. Again, Super Metroid, it's a classic. It doesn't get much better than Super Metroid. I think this game holds up really well. I don't love the control scheme. I had changed my input on my controller to make it a little easier. I made it so that because since I have 2 shoulder buttons on both sides of the controller, which the Super Nintendo did not have, I was able to map one of my bumpers to dash. Holding dash is what makes, I think, the control scheme on the Super Nintendo controller just awkward to use, and that's a big reason why I think that this game is not very accessible, especially today. It really is a fantastic game. I love the world design, and the controls, you do get used to them, but even still, for me, playing this game, I played it so many times in 2 decades that it still never just feels great to play. You'd have to spend so much time just on this game to just rewire your brain to be like, oh, when you master the controls, everything's great, it's perfect. But the thing is, that's such a high skill floor. Just the floor is so high, let alone the skill ceiling. So, people will say this game is the best of all time. It's the best Metroid that's ever existed. I don't know about that. That's up for debate. But for me, a big part of it is the controls. Even just learning the controls. Sure, once you learn them, it's fantastic, but it takes longer than most games to get accustomed to it. It just is awkward. But that aside, the level design, again, is incredible, and it's such a huge step up from the original Metroid, going from that Nintendo system to Super Nintendo. The way that they could detail the environments and add little things here or there just makes the world feel so alien. I really love it. It's just fantastic. This game just set a really cool tone with its environment as well, and it just really capitalized on the technology available at the time, which back then was, what you saw in this series. Well, hey, check out my other Metroid series if you like this one. Very similar. I made nice little routes through the game. I hope you enjoy them, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.